soy Tommy, and today we'll learn about...
I have a question.
Can I at least introduce today's topic?
No.
Okay then. Please.
What is subjuntivo?
Oh boy. That's the one topic every Spanish teacher is afraid to teach.
Okay then. What is subjuntivo?
The subjunctive, el subjuntivo, is a grammatical mood,
A what now?
a way of speaking, used in Spanish that allows people to express their attitude towards what they are saying, which also has corresponding forms in other Romance languages like French, Portuguese, Italian. It's used to talk about feelings and desires, or to express one's opinions or doubts. Okay, if you're learning Spanish and you learn these verb tenses such as presente, pretérito imperfecto, pretérito perfecto, and so on,
Yeah.
these verb tenses are all in a grammatical mood or mode called indicativo, indicative. And the subjuntivo, subjunctive, is just another mood or mode. A simple explanation would be that everything that we express in indicativo is real. It's a fact. And everything that we express in subjuntivo has to do with wishes, feelings, desires.
But
For example, indicativo. Tony trabaja. Tony works. Subjuntivo. Yo quiero que Tony trabaje. I want Tony to work.
okay, are these sentences both in present tense? Presente?
Yes.
But the conjugation of these verbs in presente indicativo is different than the one in presente subjuntivo?
Exacto. But not so different. With most verbs, you only have to change one vowel.
No. Subjuntivo. Why does it have to exist? It was going so well until subjuntivo showed up. No subjuntivo? No, it's idiotic. It's idiotic.
Once you've gotten over this phase in which you have to accept the subjuntivo, then you can learn it.
Yeah, now I want to learn the subjuntivo. It's still idiotic. But what is the equivalent of the subjunctive in English?
There is no real exclusive verb-ending form in English that corresponds to the way we conjugate Spanish verbs in subjuntivo. But to give you an idea, if I say, he goes to the back of the line, here I'm conjugating he goes in the present indicative mode. It is required that he go to the back of the line. Here I'm conjugating he go in the present subjunctive in English, and not using he goes because I'm expressing a request. It's like when you say, I wish you were, instead of I wish you are. That is also a way of using subjuntivo in English when expressing a desire.
Oh, now this whole thing makes a lot more sense.
Great! I know that it can be sometimes difficult for you to know when to use the verb in indicativo or in subjuntivo in Spanish. But now you will learn how.
I'm ready.
Good! First, the conjugation of regular verbs in presente subjuntivo. Here we have verbs with ar at the end.
Here is the verb trabajar, to work, conjugated in presente, in both the indicative and the subjunctive mode. And you can notice something. To conjugate a Spanish verb that ends with ar in presente subjuntivo, all you have to do is to replace the a with an e at the ending of the verb. Yo trabaje, tú trabajes, ella trabaje. Okay, and what about the verbs with or ir at the end?
Such verbs must be conjugated with an A at the verb ending.
Por ejemplo, the Spanish verb comer, to eat, ends with and to conjugate it in the present subjunctive form, you use, once again, the same basic present form from the indicative mode, and you just change the ending of the verb. Here by using an A at the end. Yo coma, tú comas, él coma, nosotros comamos, ellos coman. And now a verb that ends with ir. Yo reciba, tú recibas, usted reciba, nosotros recibamos, vosotros recibáis, ustedes reciban. And we have good news! Finally, with all the Spanish verbs, the first and third person singular have in presente subjuntivo the same conjugation. That means yo, él, ella, and usted are always conjugated here in the same way. And how exactly do I use this presente subjuntivo thing? Here is a list. The subjuntivo is used for expressing wishes, feelings, doubts, hopes, possibilities, probabilities, guesses, or uncertainties. Also in the imperative, to express a command, except for the conjugation of tú and vosotros in the positive imperative. Are there trigger words for the subjuntivo?
The subjuntivo usually follows certain signal or trigger words and certain verbs. At the end of this video, I will show you a list with more than 40 signal words and verbs.
Oh, please. Now a few examples.
Ojalá no llueva. Ojalá no llueva. Ojalá is an important word, always followed by el subjuntivo. Ojalá consigas el trabajo. Ojalá consigas el trabajo.
Más ejemplos.
Quiero que comas conmigo. Quiero que comas conmigo. The subjuntivo is often seen in Spanish subordinate clauses.
Say what now?
Long story short, these are usually two sentences in one.
And in order to connect these sentences, one uses the word que, right?
Yes. Ella duda que yo trabaje bien. Ella duda que yo trabaje bien. No me gusta que tú trabajes tanto. No me gusta que trabajes tanto. In subordinate clauses with subjuntivo, there are normally two different subjects.
Ella duda. Ella is a subject. And que yo trabaje bien, yo is another subject. In the second sentence, no me gusta. A mí, the subject here with the verb gustar is the thing that you don't like in this case. So I don't like it. No me gusta eso. That is one subject. And in que trabajes tanto, then tú is another subject. Que tú trabajes tanto. Ella duda que yo trabaje bien. Ella duda que yo trabaje bien. No me gusta que trabajes tanto. Why do we have the same subject in the two clauses?
Then you can usually say the second verb in the infinitive form without conjugating it. Ella duda trabajar bien. Ella duda trabajar bien. No me gusta trabajar tanto. No me gusta trabajar tanto. In the first sentence, ella is always the subject. And in the second sentence, yo is always the subject.
Oh.
Deseo que llegues siempre temprano a la clase. I wish you always come to class early.
I am almost always early.
Sometimes one can simply leave this wish or feeling implicit and just use the word que at the beginning of the sentence.
¿Qué?
Exactly. Espero que consigas el trabajo. I hope you get the job. I can also say it like this. Que consigas el trabajo. Que consigas el trabajo. Here is my hope with only que at the beginning and the verb in presente subjuntivo expressed. In this case, conseguir. Conseguir. Tú consigas. Presente subjuntivo.
Más ejemplos.
Que duermas bien. Que duermas bien. Que ganes mucho y trabajes poco. Que ganes mucho y trabajes poco. Now you.
Que te suscribas a Tommy's Spanish School en YouTube. Que te suscribas a Tommy's Spanish School en YouTube.
Que te suscribas a. I want you to subscribe. What else?
Que termines el video. Que termines el video.
Eso es todo por hoy. You can follow me on Instagram as Tomás Profe. Muchas gracias y adiós.